Okay, hopefully this works. I just had a few difficulties with it. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Lovely. Okay. And get my presentation pulled up here. Thank you for your patience as I do this. Okay, awesome. My name is Maddie Robinson, and I am so excited to share a little bit about what I learned about Arnold Schoenberg. It was really fun to kind of listen to his things and explore his music because he is a little outside of what I would normally enjoy as far as music goes. And I love so many of the classical artists and composers that we've been studying. So this was a fun little branch out. I've listened to him previously a few years ago. So this was fun. And I hope you can hear me because only my mic audio works. So here we go. Early life of Arnold Schoenberg. Let's just move that. Okay. He was born in Vienna, Austria in 1874. His father was a shoemaker and his mother was a piano teacher. So he did get a little bit of that musical influence in his life as a young child. He learned violin and cello as a child. And there was a story about how he even would gather his young friends and would have them play certain instruments and they do their small performances together. Due to financial restraints, he had limited formal musical education as a child, but he did also have a knack for painting and poetry. So he was an artist in several different ways, which I'm sure translates very well for him. And lastly, he began to associate with the avant-garde artists and intellectuals in his early adulthood. So other musicians, poets, like painters and artists, things like that. So he was in the crowd. Okay, here we have this lovely sideways timeline of his career. 1874, as I said, born in Vienna. In 1895, he started studying music theory with Zemlinsky. 1897, he composes his first major work, String Quartet in D minor. 1903, he marries Matilda Zemlinsky, the sister of Zemlinsky, who he was studying with. It's pretty exciting. 1907, Chamber Symphony No. 1 marks the beginning of his atonal period, which is so fun. We will be seeing his atonal piece in the song we study. Not that one, but a different one. 1918, he develops the 12-tone technique, which I'll also share a little bit more about. 1923, well, it looks like 11,000, 1923, that's all right. Becomes a teacher at the Prussian Academy of Arts in Berlin. 1925, Suite for Piano Op. 25, one of his first works fully utilizing the 12-tone techniques, is completed. In 1933, he emigrates from Germany to the United States. 1934, begins teaching composition at UCLA. 1950, completes his opera, Moses and Aaron, one of his more ambitious and complex works. Give it a listen if you have a chance. And 1951, passes away in LA at age 76. So, hello, like Moses and Aaron. Arnold Schoenberg has some very defining characteristics to his music that sets him apart from other composers. And like I said, atonality is huge in that. He explores dissonance and new harmonic possibilities. Some people don't like dissonance. That's all right. Sounds a little odd to a lot of us. Expressionism, so he reflects intense emotional and psychological depth. Serialism and the 12-tone technique. He has 12 pitches organized into a series. Sprechstimme is speech song. So singers approximate pitch rather than be precise, which is also very unique. Polyphonic texture, as we know, and experimentation with form. Schoenberg broke away from traditional music with more fragmented and episodic structures. And doesn't this painting just scream expressionism? I love it. Influences are the Viennese tradition where he's from, studied with Zemlinsky, who taught him Brahms and Wagner. So our guys, we're familiar with them. Expressionism, very popular in the early 20th century, focus on subjective emotion and heightened introspection. So you can kind of get a feel for more emotion than as much clear structure. And as you can see in this painting that I added from the Expressionism period, a bit more abstract, a bit more introspective, as it says. You have to look and figure out what that means for you, for them. His Jewish identity influenced his music and his approach to composing. The Second Viennese School, where he collaborated with Bern and Webern, led to his 12-tone technique and new music languages. And personal experiences such as struggles with health and finance, the World War I and II, and exploration of the human experience shaped him as well. So I chose this piece because I really love how it demonstrates the atonality of Schoenberg's works. The dissonance is fascinating. I myself, I don't love it. I would not probably choose to listen to it on my own time, but I do think it's fascinating that that is how he chose to compose, and that is something that can be replicated, and that he expressed himself in such a unique way. I think that gives us a good insight into him a lot. And I also love that it highlights the changes in art that was found during the period of Expressionism through all the different mediums of art. So I'll try and point these out as we listen. This is a very short clip. Piano piece number 1, Op 23, just about 2 minutes. So in the beginning, we'll hear dissonant chords and how that creates a bit of tension. And you can kind of listen to how jagged and melodic the melodic fragments are, and it'll be very abrupt shifts. There's a lot of texture. You'll hear the lines intertwining, overlapping. And then the mood shifts. It gets a little bit lighter, more introspective and introspection and calm. There's a tiny bit of what you could consider virtuosic piano writing, a little bit quicker, more intricate playing of the piano. And then lastly, it builds up with more dissonance and it concludes with a bit of dissolution. It's not a very nice resolution, in my opinion. So let's listen. I'll turn that up as much as possible, and hopefully that goes through in the audio. So right now what we're listening to is just that jagged and melodic part coming up here. Here's our fragments. You can hear the shifts that aren't quite on a beat. There's not exactly a rhythm here. And then we get more lines coming in. And here's the mood shift. You can feel that big shift there. And it becomes a bit calmer, a bit more peaceful, less jagged, a little bit more fluid. And that's where we also saw a bit of that virtuosic, a little quicker, a little bit more intricate. As you can imagine, that's difficult to replicate. At least I think so. To wrap up. You can hear that disillusion does not quite end on a super solid last note to wrap anything up. And that concludes Arnold Schoenberg's a little peek into his life and a taste of the atonality of his music that he's very well known for. I just want to highlight how different and unique and special of a composer he is. And I love that there can be found beauty in such different music. And that is, I think it really just is a really good peek into what was popular at the time, a new way of expressing yourself and looking into the human experience in a way that spoke to you. And if other people understood and related, great. And if not, your piece of work is out there. And yeah, I loved it so much. I love studying it. So I hope you enjoyed. Thank you.